and thank you for being here. This is the lesson number 10. So open up your Eclipse, then go to the Package Explorer, create a new Java project. Let's name it lesson 10, and then go here to lesson 10, to the source, create a new package, and then create, like always, a class, a main class, which contains the main method. Then feel free to close any other projects that you have here, and let's save it. So today we will talk about the for loop. The for loop is the most important of all loops, if you ask me, and you're going to use it really often in your code in order to receive the wanted outcome. So the syntax of it is as following. You write, let's make a comment section here. So you say for, then you open the parentheses, and you create and define a variable. Then you put the semicolon here and set a condition. That means until when should the loop repeat itself. Then the semicolon again, and then what to do after each loop. And then you open the brackets and you execute, let's write it, you execute the code here. So let's see it happen. For, then the parentheses. So first, what do we do first? We create and define a variable. Let's create a variable with the name of I and the type of integer I, and we will give it the value of 0. So then the semicolon, and then we set a condition. That means until when should the loop repeat itself. So long this condition is true, the code here inside the brackets will be executed. The moment this condition is false, it's not true anymore, then the compiler goes outside the brackets and continues with compiling the rest of the code. So let's set a condition, for example, let's say until I is less than 3. Then we write the semicolon again, and what to do after each loop. So let's say, let's increment the value of I by 1. Then we open our brackets, and here we can write some code. For example, let's print out hello. So let's see what will happen before we execute the code. The code begins, the loop begins, and we define a variable with a value of 0 here. So then the condition that we set is if 0 is less than 3, then execute this code. Then hello will be executed. And then we say, when you're ready with that, when you execute this code, go here and increment the value by 1. So 0 will become 1. Then we have a loop again, because the condition is still true. So we say 1, if 1 is less than 3, which is true, then execute this line of code. So hello will be executed, and then we go here and execute this line of code. So increment the value of I by 1. So 1 will become 2. And then the loop happens again. If 2 is less than 3, then execute this code, hello, and then increment the value by 1. So the value will be 3, and the loop will happen again. And you say, if I, which now has the value of 3, is less than 3, then execute this code. But 3 is not less than 3. 3 is equals to 3, is equivalent, 3 is 3. So this condition here is now false, and we have our breakpoint, so the loop will end here, and the compiler will start reading here, 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 and so on. So let's save our code, and let's run it to see what happens. You see here 3 times hello is printed, 3 times hello is printed. This is a for loop, like we have seen also in the previous video. We can also have an endless loop. Let's write it here, endless loop. How can a loop be endless? For example, if we write for int I has a value of 1, I greater than 0, and then increment the value by 1, then execute it never ends. So what do we have here? We create and define a value. We create a variable. We create the variable I, which is an integer, and we give it the value of 1. And we say the condition if 1 is a positive number, is greater than 0, which is always true because 1 is always greater than 0, then execute this code. Then this code will be executed one time, and then the loop happens again, and you execute this line of code, increment the value of I by 1, so 1 will become 2, and the loop happens again, and you say if 2 is greater than 0, then execute this code here, the code will be executed, and then do that, and we say here increment the value of 2 by 1, and then we have a loop again, and again, and again, and again, and because we have always positive numbers, and the condition is that the I is positive, we will have an endless loop. Let's see it happen. It never ends until we stop it by pressing here terminate. Does it seem familiar to you? Yes, exactly. It is like the while and do while loops. A while statement can most of the times be written as a for statement and the other way around. So feel free to make some experiments with it after this video. Don't forget that the more you practice, the better you get. So this was for the loop statement. Try to solve this week's challenge and practice what we learned today as many times as you need to feel comfortable using it. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching.